Do you guys know that I never even got to find out what really happened to my mother regarding the fucking seizure she had in that hospital? Never even got to find out that, because the fucking hospital's so goddamn fucking far away. Remember, I traveled by public transportation a reasonable amount of time to get to the one hospital, only to find out I had been under the impression she had been sent to one hospital and then immediately sent off to another one because the one hospital couldn't handle it. No, she spent the whole night. The hospital who really knows the truth in regards to exactly what happened, because remember that, the nut house never told me, never bothered to tell me it's a grand mal, never told me the details, and I'm her fucking healthcare proxy. But now that she's deemed competent, the healthcare proxy doesn't apply. So I can't even know that. I can't even know exactly what happened to my mother in that hospital. Because when you go to get records, they need the hospital, they need a thing faxed over stating that the person is still in there and that you have a right to access those records. Every which way I was fucked, people. I desperately wanted to know exactly what happened to my mother in that hospital. The one hospital I did get to and got all the records, that was where she was sent the next day, because the hospital that she went to that day and stayed overnight didn't have a neurosurgeon. But they are the first response. They are the ones who know. And this hospital had something written down that surprised me. It said something like she had a seizure early in the afternoon, yet wasn't admitted to the hospital until at night. So did that hospital, did she have a grand mal seizure on their premises and they didn't send her off to emergency until hours and hours later? I could know that if I could access those fucking records. I mean, if I got a lawyer and fought all this, fought the hospital, I could subpoena the records, but again, I'm not getting a lawyer. Unless a lawyer reaches out to me via this channel. Then we could subpoena the fucking records. But other than that, I can't get them now. Apparently. Although my cousin didn't understand that. She thought once you're a healthcare proxy, you are entitled to... I don't understand. She didn't understand why that other hospital you have to invoke the healthcare proxy, because it's only taking effect if the person is unable to make his or her own decision. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I have the thing that they gave me a copy of the thing that the other hospital they faxed over, and it says it's good for 6 months. Maybe if I got my ass over to that hospital, they would give me the records. I need to do it during the week. Because the reason I'm bringing this up, my shelter friend suggested, she brought it up. She's like, why don't you look into see how much it would be to rent a car? And I said, I don't drive. She said, I'll drive you there. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thought. She's like, it's better than traveling hours upon hours upon hours upon hours to get there, and then hours upon hours by public transportation to get back. She's like, rent a car and I'll drive you there. My cousin thought, as healthcare proxy, you can get someone's records anytime. I really want those records. There's no reason why my mother wouldn't want me to have the records. I've been through hell and back over these past 2 months. I deserve to at least know. Because remember, one of the reasons I wanted my mom to be transferred, the thing with Auntie wasn't the only reason, my mother's health and safety being compromised, because she had never wanted her Auntie to know anything, and then Auntie knows where she is and is visiting and whatnot. I wanted her to transfer because I couldn't get there, and because of that fucking seizure of unknown origin that took place 2 days after she entered their facility, okay? To this day, I don't know what really happened. social worker never bothered to tell me. Didn't think it was necessary. I didn't find out until her commitment hearing that it was the type of seizure. Everything that hospital, those criminal fucks did is wrong. Everything they did in regards to me, the way they treated me when I was my mother's legally appointed healthcare proxy is wrong. And in the end, more likely than not, they're going to get away with it all. And even for my own sake, I am so pissed that I thought I was going to find out the truth when I traveled hours by public transportation. No, she didn't go to that hospital the next day. It's that fucking hospital that's a million miles away from here that has the truth. Has the truth that I want. Just for my own sake, I want it. Again, though, if I had a lawyer, I could subpoena the records, even if I couldn't get them. I could subpoena them, because I need them. It's all part of the conspiracy with that hospital. They didn't even tell me the truth in regards to my mother. She could have been dying. She could have been dead or dying, and I was denied all knowledge of her condition and whereabouts because of her psychologist fucking up. So if I ever had a lawyer and was fighting the hospital and going after the psychologist, etc., I could subpoena the fucking records and find out the truth. But, you know. Yes, I love my mother. She'd never had a seizure in her life. She had it 2 days after entering their facility. And I would like to know what really happened. Only that hospital that I was never able to get to has the truth in its hands. I want to know. That's where she was sent first. That's where she spent the night. I want to know what happened. I want to know. I'm her daughter. I have the right to know. And I can't fucking get there. And now that she's out, I don't think that they would even give me the records anyway. And pretty soon, probably even maybe immediately, maybe this Friday. She told me that Auntie wants her to sign another power of attorney, so maybe the second she's in Auntie's house, she's going to sign a new power of attorney and make Auntie her healthcare proxy, etc., etc. That's what she told me last week, you know. Last week, about a week or so ago. Even under those circumstances, under all these circumstances, non-ignorant people realize what Joe realized months and months and months ago. For my sake, for the sake of my continued existence on this planet, for the sake of my gradually diminishing because of all this shit, sanity, fragile sanity, you know, I need to sever my relationship with my mother. My dysfunctional relationship with my mother, okay? But considering how horribly the staff in that hospital consistently treated me, I deserve to know what happened to my mother regarding that fucking seizure. I asked her, do you have the medical records, Mom? No. I guess maybe they forwarded them to the home. She doesn't even know. She doesn't even know if they even gave her fucking records. And I want to know the truth. I thought I was going to find out the truth the day I spent the whole day going to get... No. I put down 2 dates because I wasn't sure when my mother wound up in the hospital. No, it turns out she was never there on that one date. She only went the very next day. The hospital that's down near that fucking nut house that deserves to be closed down for good is where that's where the records are that would tell me the truth about the seizure my mother had for the first time ever in her life. She'd never had a seizure in her life, and it was a grand mal, and I didn't find that out until the fucking commitment hearing that I was not supposed to be present for. I was not supposed to be at that commitment hearing, which means I would have never fucking known the nature of my mother's seizure. Criminal fucks in that hospital, and the doors deserve to be closed down for good. End of fucking story.